How to choose a pocket knife. This is for the EDC peasants. And don't forget, I am the EDC peasant in chief. If you are a pocket knife beginner or maybe some type of pocket knife sheep like this guy, Benchmade sheep all the way, there are factors that are in play when it comes to choosing a pocket knife, the function, carry laws, etc. Let's dive deep into the guidelines for choosing a pocket knife. Now, these are the things that I think these are not set in stone. There is no type of pocket knife choosing Bible, although if there was one, I hope I would make it to one of the chapters. If you like EDC talk, man cave talk, survival type of stuff, hit the subscribe button down below. We would love to have you a part of the battalion. Before we jump into this stuff, I would like to shout out to today's sponsor, you guys that shop at themarinex.com. Find all of your EDC accessories and your man cave accessory needs. That's my target for you chilling out of your man cave, for those little things in your EDC life. Take a look at the shop down below. We have a few different offerings, super excited about, and I look forward to bringing you guys more stuff soon. I have tested, carried, and used a ton of pocket knives over time. And let's just get to the bluff. The best pocket knife for you is the pocket knife that satisfies your needs. There is no type of material, no type of gimmick, the opening mechanism. It's the one that satisfies your needs. That's the best pocket knife for you. That's the best pocket knife. But let's take a look at the first category. Why carry a pocket knife? Now, pocket knives are general purpose tools. Generally, it should have universal appeal. In my opinion, no one is not a pocket knife person. That includes your grandmas, your uncles, wives, spouses, everyone, some form or fashion, even your young children that you teach them to use it properly is a pocket knife person. It is the one tool that the biggest Timmy or the non-handy person can use every single day. Even if you don't know how to turn a wrench or turn on a power drill, you can learn how to use a pocket knife in your daily life. You don't have to carry it in your pocket, but generally pocket knives are designed to be carried and used coming out of, i.e. a pocket. They should be portable, accessible, easy access, shouldn't have too many gimmicks or too many things that are unnecessary for them to be used. But there are design limitations. So you know why you should carry one. Let's talk about how you define yourself to see if design limitations are going to be something you need to consider. The first category for defining yourself is, are you a handy person? Are you someone that's self-reliant on solutions? You're very creative. You use tools, whether they're screwdrivers or power drills or saws, a few times a week or a few times a month. If that's the kind of person that you are, then in my opinion, a well-made, purpose-built pocket knife is gonna be best for you. Something that has a little bit more heft to it, maybe has a little bit more money. You're probably not gonna lose it because you tend to take care of your tools. You're a handy person. I take care of my tools. I can't remember the last time I lost a tool. So if you're the type of person that gets bricked up every time you even think of your tools, you use your tools, and you would rather be handy versus lots of screen time, like just wasting away like a couch potato, then you just find yourself a nice heavy duty suggestion, maybe like a Benchmade mini Griptilian, a Benchmade mini Adamas. You can also look at a Spyderco paramilitary too, although be careful of that tip. You're going to be willing to spend a little bit more money on something that you're generally going to use quite often. That's the handy person. But let's say you're on the complete opposite end of handy. You are a clumsy knucklehead who's on a first name basis with the locksmith and the lady down at the urgent care. If that is you, then you might not want to go too premium on a pocket knife. You need to consider the replacement cost for the knife that you're going to lose, because sometimes you find yourself to be a little Timmy-like. If you often replace your house keys or your driver's license or your wallet and you can never find it, You may not want to go premium on a pocket knife that's going to cost you over $200 or $300. It's probably not going to be for you. Now, you're going to want to consider a more inexpensive pocket knife. There's plenty to choose from, all the way from Club Walmart's Ozark Trail, kind of scooting up to the CJRB or CRKT, you know, just finding something in that sweet spot that meets all of your needs. It's going to be less expensive. It may not be made of the same premium materials, but it's still going to serve a purpose of making shit happen. It's just going to be less aesthetic than some of the flashbangs that some of your buddies are going to be holding. Think of it this way. If you're a multitasking peasant who probably wouldn't even notice if you lose your knife as you cut your 16th Amazon box, then it doesn't matter that your knife is inexpensive. It probably should be inexpensive. A cheaper knife will need more sharpening. Once a month, every 3 months, however often you use it. It's going to be more susceptible to corrosion, and it's not going to be as graceful to use, but it's still going to be better than those kitchen scissors that are in your drawer. Even if you're going to be the handy or the Timmy, whichever one you are, you still need a pocket knife. Now, the next thing to think about is categories of usage. I think there are several categories when it comes to categories of usage when it comes to a pocket knife, but I'm going to focus on 3. The everyday carry person, the backcountry person, and the tactical bros. If you fall within one of these 3, then you're gonna kind of know whether or not which type of pocket knife is for you. First, let's talk about the everyday carry. This is the biggest category by far. People in the everyday carry make an omnipresent decision when they choose their pocket knife. They're thinking about the materials. They're going to be using it every day. It sort of becomes a aesthetic and enjoyable part of your day. It ingrains yourself into your daily routine. You're not going to forget your pocket knife, just as you wouldn't forget your cell phone or your wallet or your car keys or your kid, you know, any of that important stuff. Here's the bottom line for the everyday carry category: spend more, get more, spend less, and you'll probably have a tool that you don't have to freak out if you lose. It just won't be as premium. That brings us to the next category of usage. That is going to be the backcountry uses. This includes all sorts of stuff. The hunters, people that like to go fishing, people that like to do backpacking. These type of knives generally find themselves in your bag or in your first aid kit. Now, generally they can still be a pocket knife, quote unquote folding. That's what I mean by pocket knife. But they don't get as much usage. You're going to use these things for maybe skinning an animal from a kill, possibly cutting up food at a campsite, skinning a fish that you just caught, maybe making some kindling for a fire. Things that would not be done every single day, but you're going to want something that's pretty reliable whenever that time does come. This knife is going to be touched less often, so there is a smaller propensity that you'll actually lose it. But if you're Timmy, you might lose it anyway. But that brings us to our last category. You're not the everyday carry person, or maybe you are. Maybe you're the backcountry person. But if you're a tactical bro, then there's a whole other subset of knives. Sometimes they spill over to the other 2 categories, but tactical bros are similar to backcountry. Maybe this knife isn't getting used every day. Maybe it is a part of your kit or your first aid kit or your bag, but you need a level of functionality in this knife that's different than the other 2. It might be used for self-defense. It could be used for a utility tool, such as prying. Maybe you're a first responder, like a police officer, EMT, or you're in the military. They usually have much more durable materials. They can take higher tolerances. They can take higher drops. It can be manipulated much more before they come to a point of breaking. If you're a tactical bro, look for a knife that has high tolerances, has a centered weight of balance, and has coated blades. At least I think that coated blades are best. At a minimum, you want to get something that's at least stone washed, something that's satin or mirrored finish. Those are going to easily show the nicks and markings of your tactical use, and you want to shy away from those. Now, to be clear, tactical bros are completely different from combat bros, meaning a tactical knife and a combat knife are normally 2 different things. Combat knives are normally specifically designed for military personnel. The knife that I was issued in the Marine Corps is for the most part not legal to carry in a lot of states. Here in Texas, yeah, I can carry it, but in some other states, fully automatic, have an extremely long blade edge. You can't carry that type of stuff. So They usually have the highest level of tolerances. They have to pass very stringent military specifications. They're trying to win military contracts, et cetera, et cetera. So we talked about why you should carry one. We talked about how do you define yourself, categories of usage. Let's just talk about generally other features that you should think about whenever you're choosing a pocket knife. And I'm just going to rattle off some because they're not necessarily concrete. They're not very objective. Most of these are very, very subjective. Number one, the locking mechanism. Which one do you think is best? The axis or pivot style lock that Benchmade offers, lock back, frame locks, liner locks. Some people think that some are stronger than others. Some have tested them with all sorts of crazy ass tests when it comes to weights, and that's really up to you. What do you feel most comfortable with? I'm not the biggest fan of a lock back. I kind of like to whip my stuff open. Do you want a slip joint? Do you want something that has thumb studs? Do you want nail nicks? Do you want thumb holes? That's all subjective. You got to think about which one works for you. I suggest that you go to a local knife shop and actually put your hands, get your phalanges on different knives. Everyone has different things that they think about when it comes to a pocket knife. We can all agree that I have helped you out tons today. You should thank me by hitting the like button down below or hitting the super thanks button and sending me money. Either of the two is fine. You don't want to do those things? Then just do this. Put Battalion down below in your comment and I will heart your message. Let me know your thoughts when it comes to choosing a pocket knife. Did I miss anything? Should I pound sand? I would love to know your comments down below. If this is your first time stopping by, well, thank you for hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe button. If this is not your first time stopping by, thank you for watching me run my grape once again. We will speak soon.